I just wanted to show you guys a classic example of not thinking ahead. You know, I got everything ready, and hopefully this will show my problem. You notice my hat is up out of my reach on top of the banner, because that's where I stowed it last night. So I'm going to actually use you guys to try to prop it off of there. Let's see if we can get this to work. I can just get it off of the top there. I'll go across to the, that's how, guys. Wooch! Thanks for your help. Amazing what the internet can be used for, huh? Okay, well, we're starting out. It's raining very slightly. So I've got this umbrella. He sold it to me for $2 because it was used. Come down off the little cul-de-sac I went down to get the technical support from Verizon and start walking. So I no longer need this umbrella. So I may be donating the umbrella. So I had added some of those awesome, you know, those stretchy bungee things. Not stretchy ones, but the gear clip things. They're like rubbery metal flexible gear clippy thing, the black part. I stuck a bunch of those on the side of the phone, like counterweight. So, because I think part of what was causing gimbal drop was that the battery was just getting too tired, and it was having to maintain too much current flow to the, so even though the battery had power, it probably just didn't have enough amperage to maintain the stepper motor in the gimbal. So hopefully we'll have a better time of it today with the balance and the Verizon plan fixed. And so for now, I'm actually getting pretty excited. The idea of calling this a new social contract and replacing the tax system that we've had for 25,000 years, where tax is a one-way street and you just take it, with a two-way street where we get some too. But that's how life should become in the 21st century, and this was something we couldn't do before because we just weren't so productive. We needed an existential crisis we face. Existential crisis means if we don't solve this, we will cease to exist. And that's the darker side of this, but it backs up why this is important. It's not just a happy thing that might be a good idea. This is a vital direction that we have to take. In some way, we need to make everyone in our country feel secure. We need to make everyone feel like they have justice. And if we don't, then the effects that we are seeing now are just the beginning. And we know this from history. We know this from what happened in Germany. So, just last night, the headline I saw is that the company's right on schedule, about 2 years out from the election. He is now planning to pardon war criminals. Go figure. Like, that's really on everyone's priority list. Americans accused of war crimes. We don't accuse Americans of war crimes ourselves very lightly. These are people who have been convicted, which is why they're eligible for pardon. These are U.S. service members who have been convicted of war crimes. He wants to pardon them. This is exactly what Goebbels did. Maybe not with pardon, but what Goebbels said, Goebbels, was shoot first, ask questions later. Everyone's heard that one, right? Goebbels said, shoot first, ask questions later, and I will protect you. And that's the key part. What the trumpet is demonstrating is that he will protect you. If you're a shoot first, ask questions later kind of person, he's going to protect you. This is super duper dangerous and part of the gradual slope into established tyranny where we can't then get out of it. People are willing to take this because they feel vulnerable. And that's the psychology that is used by tyrants. Very threatening to people's safety. People are not in fact vulnerable to the degree that we feel vulnerable. But if we have a share where taxes works both ways, instead of deducting money you don't make off the taxes you don't pay, we'll have everyone pay the same tax and we'll have everyone get the same benefit. The same share of the economy, the same tax rate for everyone. Rich, poor, doesn't matter. And now everyone has some economic power. Every US citizen who's of majority age and not on Social Security. And with that distributed power, the gap, the vulnerability gap, because people, when they're powerless, feel a great need for greater power to take care of them. And that's how the tyrants operate. But if we distribute enough power to everybody so they can take care of themselves, they will be less vulnerable in real terms, and they will be less vulnerable to the siren call of tyranny. Of course, the other thing that a share does is it goes towards justice. I think justice is a separate pathway to tyranny, because when there isn't justice, people feel like, well, it's just everyone for themselves. And that feeling like we all should be in it for each other as well goes away, and therefore we're not there to protect each other against tyrants. And then they can pick off interest groups. Like the poet from Germany said, when they came for the gypsies, I didn't protest. I wasn't a gypsy. When they came for the Jews, I didn't protest. I wasn't a Jew. When they came for the first political party, and then they went on and on and on. So he said, if I knew when they came for me, there was no one left to protest. So that slow picking off of groups. So right now it's Chicanos, it's Puerto Rican. But just wait, I mean, it's going to be another group as they feel like, as tyrants feel like they make the scope bigger, as the existing set of villains stops motivating people's fear, they'll just add another group. So one of the darker things that I have to say is that I'm only 40% confident that we haven't already had our last presidential election. That sounds crazy talk. So let me try to break down why it's not so crazy. We live with, I think, two of the major states. I think Pennsylvania, I forget now, I can't memorize it, but I know Florida's on the list. If there's a hack of the Florida electoral system, there is no paper backup. So they've now engineered a system where you cannot recount it back to the human interaction with the system, because they never put anything on paper, and they never even spit out a piece of paper in case, you know, some small percentage of voters might check the paper to see if it's really what they meant to vote. This is a key vulnerability, because what it allows is it allows them, whoever, to attempt to hack the election, to convince the electorate that the election was hacked, and that therefore the result is in doubt. And that margin of doubt is what you drive through, saying, well, I don't acknowledge the election because it was hacked. So it's not valid for the trumpet to be voted out. And those who would say, oh, well, this is a grab of power, this is a coup, well, he's been slowly pardoning people who will shoot first and ask questions later. And so as long as he gets a critical mass of several groups, people who don't want to rock the boat, don't want to question authority, and people who are willing to try to establish such authority, in a world where they're saying, hey, I didn't necessarily lose, we don't know. It's one of his favorite phrases, right? We don't know. Truth is malleable in this world, in the world of the tyrants. They want you to not believe in truth. So those are the mechanical steps. You raise doubt in the election. In our current meta, you say, hey, they're hacking the election. And then, oh, by the way, they actually are hacking the election. They, somebody. And you can say, for the doubt's sake, we don't know, right? That's the doubt part. Once you have the doubt, you then say, hey, how do we know the truth? And since we doubt the truth, you can't throw me out of office because I'm here to try to protect the truth, even though he's not. It's classic. It's classic, and it's happening right before our eyes. And it is powerful enough that we may get to 2020, have an engineered crisis for making the vote unsubstantiated, and then we have no more vote. This is why we need to share, so that everyone is empowered, so that everyone can get closer to the wheels of power and not fall prey to that argument. We don't have a whole lot of time. In addition to the share, I recommend a number of amendments to the Constitution, and one of them says that all votes must be put down, must be recorded by a human being physically onto an indelible medium. That's a lot of voting systems that do that. Where you mark the ballot, you punch the ballot, but one way or the other, your human person ought to be making a change in a permanent, indelible thing that can be counted and recounted later. And if that's not done, then this call for hacked elections will pass muster with enough people that inaction will win the day. I'm going to see if I can get rid of my umbrella and give it to somebody. Hey, excuse me. Could I give you my umbrella? Where do I put it? Hang on, sorry to interrupt you. Okay. All right, there you go. Thank you. I just got my first finger. I heard someone, saying something. It didn't sound good. I turned around and I saw a car with half its windows gone and plastic taped over it. And some guy in the car repeating quite clearly the FU with the finger up. And I just went out and did this. So there you have it. 2:30, maybe 9. God bless. Half-hour mark. Just checking in. Continues to be a really gorgeous day, but man, I am starting to feel it. Finally, we can actually see the ocean. Do look carefully. There it is. Off in the distance. We'll be there shortly. Okay, here we are. Walking. Oh God. Oh yeah, beach walking, you know how it makes everything a kilter in your ankles. Oh, that's what's happening here on completely blistered feet. Oh man, that is painful all around, yeah. Yep, so now we can see at last into the ocean. Yeah, the sand's getting easier to walk on now. Oh. And I made it to the sea. feel like I should just say, if you can hear this, the Earth is bigger than all of us. This whole trip is certainly bigger than me. And I don't know where it's going to end up or where I will end up in it. But I, for God's sake, hope that we save America from tyranny. And that we grasp this moment of huge promise that we stand in. Because as much as we think we are ruining things, there it is. It's still bigger than us. And it's waiting. If we screw ourselves up too much, from the depths of the sea it will rise again. Water is the most yielding of things, and yet it overcomes everything. So says the Tao Te Ching. It can overcome the world. And so can we. Thank you for watching. May God save America.